And let's see if we can hear this gentleman here. We have over the phone Nicholas Mitchell. And Nicholas, good morning, or I should say good afternoon over there.
Buenos días, Guillermo. How are you?
Good. Let me see if I can do this. Can you hear me fine?
Perfect, thank you.
It sounds better, right?
Okay, so we are in this debate with Nando, as you know, about soccer and football. What's the best way to call it? But first, I would like to get to know you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you now? Where are you originally from? And tell us what's been going on in England right now when it comes to football or soccer.
Yeah, well, good morning, Nando. Good morning, Guillermo. I am currently in Leeds, which is a city in the north of England. Their local team would be Leeds United. There's a few links to South America more recently. There's a couple of players on their team. I know Nando's a proud Canadian, but he's also a proud Colombian. We have a couple of links to Colombia on our team currently. Luis Sinisterra, he's currently on loan at Bournemouth, but he is a Leeds player. And there's another young Leeds player who just got called up to the Colombian development team. He's called Jan Poveda. And also, obviously, Marcelo Bielsa is very well thought of in Leeds. He's obviously a very famous Argentinian coach. He's still thought very well of in Leeds. But currently, they're in the Championship, trying to get promoted to the Premier League. I think they're currently in third, so still struggling, but hopefully they can get promoted this season.
Yeah, that's great. And so you had the opportunity yesterday to go to Allen Road to watch the game.
That's correct, yeah. They had a 1-1 draw with Coventry. A little bit of a disappointing result, but, hopefully they can rectify that. There's a lot of games over the holiday period, so hopefully they can get into second position and hopefully get a promotion back to the Premier League.
And we have a debate with Nando, and that's why we really wanted to call you. Nando, if you want to ask Mr. Nicholas Mitchell about it.
Yeah, we want to hear from an original Englishman. Nick, how are you going? How are you doing, man? That's
Thanks.
That's the debate, right? Like when you're talking in English, what is appropriate? Like, do we say soccer so that they understand us and they don't get confused? Can we say football? How do you call it? Like when you're speaking over here in the country of Canada.
Strangely, in North America specifically, the main league, the highest league of football in North America is the Major League Soccer, obviously, but I would say over half of the teams actually in the league have the name football in their actual name, like TFC, FC Montreal, CF Inter Miami. So it's kind of interesting how a lot of the teams are refer to themselves as football, but they actually play in a soccer league. I guess obviously fighting against the might of the NFL, the National Football League, that's probably always going to be the dominant name, especially in the US for football. But I think I'm also a fan of the NFL, so I kind of do discuss both leagues, football and North American football, specifically NFL, with my friends. So I think depending on the tone of the conversation, I usually always use football. I think it's universally understood. When I'm talking specifically about NFL, that's usually apparent because it might be about the team I'm talking about, the game or the rules, and it's usually with people that are aware of that. But I'm not really sure why soccer came. I think it might even be the official English name for it originally, but outside of Europe, outside of North America, I'm not sure how many countries actually call it soccer. Maybe Australia,
I think,
maybe a little bit. The Australia, because they have Aussie rules, obviously, and that's Australian football, so I think that's to differentiate, but it seems to be that where the dominant sport is not football in the country, that's when they refer to it as soccer, so I'm just a big football guy.
Look at us. Okay, nice. So I guess your answer is you still try to push forward the football, and maybe when you're talking about American football, you could say NFL instead to differentiate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yesterday we were actually exactly your point, Nicholas, that when you're saying like the official name of, for example, TFC, Toronto Football Club, It seems to me, and correct me if wrong, that the proper or when it's on paper, everyone call it football. But if it's a slang or a way to refer to it in an informal way here in Canada, would be like soccer. Is that fair to say? Like when it comes down to register your name, you're gonna call it football, but when it comes to a casual conversation at the pub, etc., you call it soccer. Would that be fair, Nicholas?
I think it depends on the person, really. I wouldn't say soccer as a slang. I'd say if you call it soccer, then that's probably what you call it. That's just what you call it. But if you, as I suppose teams are looking for more, not off. Well, I'm trying to think of a word. When teams are looking for more validation as being a legitimate football team, I think that's why they would probably stay away from soccer. I don't think TSC would be as good as obviously TFC. I mean, globally, if you want to sell your product globally, I think you'd want to be referred to as a football team because that's ultimately what they are. So I think soccer would be more. I wouldn't say it's a slang, in my opinion. I'd just say it's what someone would refer to it, maybe in North America.
Okay, and lastly, this is my last question for you, Nicholas Mitchell, before we finish this interview. Have you ever caught yourself when you're with your buddies in England? I know that you're spending holidays there. Have you ever caught yourself calling it soccer by mistake?
Never. That says it all.
You're always very conscious. Okay, we're gonna switch with.
Not even that. I just never call it soccer.
You never call it soccer. Okay.
Look at
And then
us.
okay. All right. Thank you very much, Nicholas Mitchell. He's directly from Leeds right now. We're gonna switch to Spanish now y ahora vamos a darle una pausa. Regresamos con más. Tenemos mucha
Well
más
done, Nicholas
información
Mitchell.
en su
Sound good.
programa Sports Deportados. Recuerde que estamos regalando un cambio de aceite